Now, one alternative to prison, of course, is to make criminals do community service. But do you think that really is a proper punishment, or is it simply a box-ticking waste of time? Maybe you've done it yourself. Maybe you've been in charge of supervising people doing it. Maybe you know in your area or locality when it's going on. And maybe you think it's an utter pathetic waste of everybody's time. Or maybe you've done it yourself and it really did make all the difference. 0207 862 2222. That's the number. Do give us a ring on this one. Let's start with Mike. Community service.
Yeah.
We know what we think it is: picking up litter, painting battered-looking buildings, helping in the community. Better and much cheaper for all of us if people don't end up in prison. But do you think it's a worthwhile thing?
Well, no, I don't. Have you ever seen anybody doing community service? I never have. I've never been out and about and seen people in yellow jackets with a prison guard there making them pick up litter.
Never have.
That's because that's American and we don't do that here, do we?
Well, what do we do then? Because I've asked, how do people do their community service in this country? Now, alongside this programme tonight, a report has just been published saying 2 million hours of community service has not been done.
Right.
People are laughing in the face of magistrates and judges who say, I'm going to be lenient on you this time. You get 100 hours community service and only 10 hours is ever delivered. The other 90 hours isn't. Now, the problem is the probation service, the social services, cannot chase up people who do not do their community service because there's not enough of them. And the thing is, it started when Tony Blair gave us that famous expression of his, tough on crime, tough on causes of crime, then told the judges, send more people to prison, but forgot to build any more new prisons. And that's why we've got a prison crisis.
Well, no, the Tory government didn't build any more prisons.
I agree with you. We didn't build any more prisons since the Tony Blair era. It's been 14 years of Tories.
Yes.
Well, we know that one of the first things Keir Starmer did when he became Prime Minister was talk about how there were no prison cells available and how we were going to have to let people out before they finished their sentences.
But it doesn't matter letting people out. There's already people out here who are criminals, who have not paid their debt to society. It's a complete waste of time. I would scrap it all together.
But then what would you suggest?
Build more prisons.
But until then, though, because that will take a good year or so.
Until then, you convert existing buildings into prisons. Dartmoor Jail is still not occupied because it's been closed down for renovation.
So Mike Parry's solution would be abandon all hope of community service in this country and build more prisons. But one of the things we know is that if you're sentenced to prison, to time in jail, it is very likely that you will be a recidivist, you will re-offend, because what we don't seem to be able to provide in prison is proper rehabilitation, proper education, opportunities for later, so that when people come out of prison, they go straight and they don't re-offend. Instead, what we're almost doing is giving them a straight path to a life of crime and re-offending.
If they do community service.
So what do you think about community service?
But I Googled this, and so I don't know where that evidence is from, but the report I read, that actually re-offending from community service is only 24%.
No, I think it's 35%.
Let's go straight to a caller who knows a lot about this.
Yeah.
Mohammed, I'm so glad you called. Hi there.
Hiya, Vanessa. Are you okay, mum?
Yes, I'm fine.
Thank you, mum.
Yeah, tell me about this.
I've did jury service twice, Vanessa, and both times were for crimes that were so serious that got community service. And obviously they breached the community service so many times, they were brought back before the court, and all the court did on 15 different times the community service order was given. Each time it was failed. And all the Crown Court did was, because they came up for another court case, which was sat on, the court just said, well, there's a suspended prison sentence. I mean, does the law work in this country or does it not?
Tell me how you felt, though, as a juror. So giving up your time, not able to go to work, Vanessa, having to sit in the court, and then this kind of futile, pointless conclusion, which is constant breaches of community service, no prison sentence, and you're sitting there, Mohammed. What are you thinking at this point?
Well, we sat through... first trial, Vanessa, was 3 weeks, and the second was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And, after 3 weeks and 2 weeks, you think, well, let's hope they go to jail, because one of them was a stabbing, which they got found guilty on, and the other one was a robbery on an old lady, which they got found guilty on. But, they just... It's a load of who shot John, this suspended sentences, and send them to jail, Vanessa. They're not going to learn. These people don't learn. You had someone with 150 offences, man, Vanessa, on one of them. 150 offences, Vanessa.
I know,
Not
because
one or
you
two.
may not realise this, but I used to be a magistrate in a previous life.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I
that's
did. I was, I think,
wow.
and it was said that I was the youngest one in the country at the time. I was about, I think I was about
amazing.
29 or something like that. So I've been in court and I have seen, just as Mohammed describes, a list of previous that is literally longer than your arm.
Then why don't they put them in prison?
And offences that start when the offender was 13, 14. It's absolutely tragic. And I see exactly where he's going with this. So I think, Mohammed, you may consider that our justice system is broken. Is that how you feel?
Wrong, and I think it's destroyed, Vanessa.
Destroyed. I'm really sorry to hear that, and I think people will be fascinated by this series on 5, won't they, to see,
Yes.
the reality of all of this. Mohammed, thank you very much indeed.